As a general rule, Europe has more mountains toward the south and large expanses of plains in the north. Let's look at some of the main mountain ranges. The Alps are a rugged mountain range that makes an arc north from the Mediterranean coast of France, then east through northern Italy, Switzerland, Austria, and southern Germany. Many alpine peaks have glaciers on them. These glaciers were much larger in the past. The melting glaciers left sharp-peaked mountains called horns. The valleys that were carved out by glaciers have steep slopes rising above them. The highest peak in the Alps is Mount Blanc. It is located between France and Italy. With a summit of 4,813 meters, it is also the highest mountain in Europe. Although the Alps are high and rugged, there are many passes through them. A pass is a route through the mountains that is relatively easy to travel. Because there are so many deep valleys and low passes in the Alps, these mountains have never been a major barrier to the movement of travelers, trade goods, or armies. It is even easier to cross the Alps now because many tunnels have been built to connect the valleys. The Pyrenees Mountains, on the border between France and Spain, are more of a barrier to travel. There are few passes through their steep slopes. Other major mountain ranges in Spain include the Cantabrian and the Sierra Nevada Mountains. The Sierra Nevadas are famous because they once sheltered Granada, the last Muslim kingdom in Spain. Many beautiful palaces recall a time of Muslim rule. The Apennines are mountains that run through the center of the Italian peninsula. The many stone hill towns in the Apennines remind us of a day when high places offered protection against enemies. The Dinaric Alps run the length of the Balkan Peninsula. Other mountains are found in Scandinavia, Iceland, and Scotland. These northern mountains are not as high in elevation as the ones further south, but they are barren and rugged because they are at higher latitudes. Hills and low mountains are also found in parts of England, Belgium, and the countries of Eastern Europe. Agriculture in the hills and mountains varies with altitude, soil, and climatic conditions. Steep grassy areas above the elevation where trees do not grow well are used to pasture livestock. Cattle can be elaborately decorated when they are driven to the high mountain pastures for summer grazing and when they are brought back down to the valleys in fall. While the cattle graze high in the mountains, the grasses growing lower down the slopes are cut and dried to make hay. During the cold winters, the cattle live in barns and eat the hay. Many of the mountain slopes and hilly areas in Europe are covered with forests. These forests provide wood products and are also used for recreation. In some places, grapevines are grown on very steep slopes, which have stony soils that are not suitable for many other kinds of crops. The largest area of low, nearly level land in Europe is the Great North European Plain. Much of this plain was once covered by the continental glaciers. When the glaciers melted, they left an uneven land surface with depressions that are now small lakes. Parts of the North European Plain are too sandy or low and marshy to be good for crop production. However, other areas have fertile soils and are used to grow wheat, sugar beets, and other crops. Smaller lowland areas are scattered throughout the subcontinent. The plain of Hungary is called the Puszta. It is noted for its traditional cattle and displays of excellent horsemanship. Italy has its broad Po Valley, and France has extensive plains along its southern Atlantic coast. Much of Spain is a plateau, called the Meseta. Although it is fairly high in elevation, it is relatively flat. England and Ireland have substantial low plains areas. A wide range of crops are grown in these various lowland areas. The types of crops vary with the climatic conditions in each region.